There we go.
Larry catches the biggest bass.
There we go. Our first one on the wacky rig. If you're gonna jump, just jump in the kayak. Got him in the bottom lip. He's peeing. He's peeing. The first one of the day. Not a bad one. A good little pound and a half or maybe two. I've thrown the frog, thrown the buzzbait, thrown the magic swimmer a little bit, nothing, but first one comes on the wacky rig. This thing's just so deadly this time of year. And this is my first year ever really throwing it, so it's pretty cool to see how many fish I've been catching on it. Because I feel like a lot of the fish, you know, everybody goes for the straight Texas rig. Wacky rig takes a few more steps at something just a little bit different. I'm not saying there's not, you know, people that do it. I'm not saying that it's not a popular setup, but I always went for the Texas rig. I never really attempted to wacky rig, so I'm sure that's probably why it's so good with these fish, because they probably, you know, they probably see a lot of regular worms where they don't see any horizontal worms. Black Senko with the chartreuse tip. No, it's crazy I haven't gotten bit on the topwater yet, because normally I feel like it doesn't take that long to get the first bite on topwater. Since like early in the morning's better, but I don't want to waste the early morning bite trying to throw, you know, trying to force feed them a buzzbait or force feed them a frog. Had a lot of rain yesterday, so that might have something to do with them not eating it, because we fished. We haven't fished a whole bunch of this pond, but I feel like that first spot that we were in normally is a pretty telltale sign of, like, you know, what you need to throw. If I don't get a bite on, you know, a topwater over there, normally I won't fish it again until I get to the back. So we'll probably go around with this worm. This is a little bit shallower water. But we had one good bite on the worm. The fish ate it right when it hit the water. I was a little slow getting up to him, so. All right, I'm gonna throw the big worm a little bit. This is something I started to do maybe 2 years ago, and I haven't thrown it that much this year, but like this time of year is perfect time to throw it. Big presentation, it'll get those fish. They want it. It looks crazy. Like the first one was, I'm like, 10-inch worm. There's, you know, why would I throw that if I can catch them on a, you know, 5-inch general? I'd much rather throw a max inch general than a 10-inch power worm. But I'm telling you, this is one of those lures. It can be a sleeper in the summertime, especially if you have a pond that you've caught a couple good ones out of. This can be the technique that you catch like a really big one. I know people get these worms and like just go find the deepest part of the pond, out in the middle of it, just cast it out and just work it back as slow as you possibly can. A lot of times people say that's a good way to catch big ones. I've never personally done it out here, or I've never done it in general, but I'm sure it probably works pretty good. I kind of put this in the bucket with like a big swim bait presentation. Just more of, I feel like this is kind of in that same bucket as like a big swim bait, but a pounder can eat it. You know, a pounder can eat a big swim bait too, depending on the swim bait, but you know, I can catch the same size fish on that general as I could with this. I saw that. I saw him up under it. I saw him up under it. Oh, he spit it. I saw him up under back there. Like there was just a small little boil. Dang it, that was a good one. That was another. He was probably a little bit bigger. That first one probably 2.5 or so. I saw him up under it. He never broke the surface. I was like, that wake just didn't look like it came from the frog. All right, so we got eat on the frog. We got eat on the wacky rig. I think it's gonna be more of a frog morning than that buzzbait. I mean, I feel like I could still get 8 on the buzzbait, but I like the buzzbait when it's more like overcast and it's kind of bluebird sky. This morning it just feels more froggy. And like definitely, I think the buzzbait probably is better in a lower light condition as well. It's like earlier in the morning. It's still, you know, early, quote unquote, but like if I had my ideal time to throw the buzzbait, it would be, you know, from that, like at dusk or at dawn. Why am I confused about that? Whichever one's the morning one. Dawn. Yeah. At dawn. You know, until the sun really hasn't come up, or until like you can't see the light yet. All right, flipped a little bit through the buzzbait, through the magic swimmer and the big worm. We've thrown everything. The only thing I've gotten bites on so far is the wacky rig. We had a whole bunch of rain yesterday, like I said. I'm sure the fishing probably got pretty good before we didn't have rain. We had thunderstorms yesterday, so I haven't really seen too many signs of fish. I've heard one blow up in the grass. I've had 2 bites on the outside of the grass, so I think that might be the move for this morning. They're probably up against the grass. I flipped all through back there, didn't get any bites or anything, so probably stick with this for a little bit. It doesn't seem like they want topwater this morning, or they don't want a frog or a buzzbait. I'm sure maybe a popper or a walking bait might have a chance. I saw one chase some bait out here, so we'll see. Maybe we can find a couple with this wacky rig. There we go. There we go. There's another one on the wacky. Come here, top of the mouth. Don't lose my worm. Don't lose my worm. Thank you. You got to time it right so they don't get away. There's another one. That's about a pounder or so. And we got our worm back. So, bonus. Let's go. See ya. Got the worm back. Got it back, but it ripped at the tail. So, guess instead of asking to get the worm back, I need to ask to be able to reuse the worm. There's another one. It's fish number 2 on the wacky rig. It's just crazy that we're not getting bit on anything else, but it's probably that rain that came through. I mean, we needed it though, so not mad at it. Been a slower morning so far. We got 2. You know, a slow morning would be we still had 0, but got a couple. We've had quite a few bites. We've had quite a few like little bites. I'm pretty sure we're either bluegill or, you know, small bass that might not even be big enough to take the tail of the worm. But nonetheless, we've had bites. I'm gonna cast the frog over this little stretch right here. Ooh. Oh, that was a big blow up. So that thing cleared out the mat. Like where that blow up happened at, there's not even mat right there anymore. That is crazy. That was a huge blow up.
Hey.
Hey. Hey. And turn your listening ears on.
Huh?
Make sure you turn your listening ears on. There we go. There's a slight hook set. Doesn't feel giant, but he's in a tree. Yeah, not a giant. Hey, still got our worm as of right now. We just spit up a little shad too. Sweet. There's another one. Not a bad one. We've slowly went down in size, but it's number 3, so happy about that. I think the storm yesterday, I think it'd be safe to say that the rain kinda, I don't want to say messed them up, but it's not as good as it was the last time we were out here, that's for sure. Hey, get to keep our worm for another fish though. There's one. He's in the grass. Got him. We're gonna catch him with some grass, I guess. What a giant. That's probably one of the, like, I don't want to say most disappointing grass catches of all time, but you know, normally whenever you catch one out of the grass like that, there's like a 5-pounder coming up. There he is. That's number 4. Sweet. It's been slow. I've thrown everything. I've been trying everything, but wacky rig seems like it's the only thing that they want. So I'm gonna go back around and flip some of the spots that I didn't flip to start off with. Hopefully maybe find some bigger ones that are hanging out back up in the grass. But I don't know, today's been different. I had that one good bite on the frog when we first got out here, or when we were back there after we were about an hour or so in. It's crazy, we've been out here for 2.5 hours. And I feel like we haven't had, like, it just hasn't been that good today. And I'm sure it's because of the rain. The water's a little stained. It's the first day after that rain. Oh, that'll help. Fish feeder's going off. There we go. There we go. Had to make a lot of flips, but we finally found us one. And it's a good one, biggest one of the day. Come here, dude. Dang big one. Look at that. It's a good 3-pounder. Maybe 2. Whew, finally. We had to flip through a lot of this. Found one sitting on the edge finally. I was kind of going through it fast because I'm like, it hasn't been that good today. I don't feel like I really need to be trying to pick it apart, especially since this is the first one that I've caught, and I've been flipping since probably, I'm not sure if they pop up on the camera, but there's like a little group of sticks. Probably about 75 yards that way. I've been flipping for this whole time and finally found one. All right, boys. Thank you, Mr. Fish. I'm super happy with catching one doing this. This is probably, if I had to say, this is probably my favorite way to catch them right now, or probably favorite new technique. I don't know. It's been hard between the wacky rig and the net, or the wacky rig and flipping, punching, whatever you want to call it. I like this because it's different. You know, a wacky rig's pretty much the same thing as a Texas rig or the same thing as a jig as far as like how the bite goes, but this is just that quick thump. And I mean, you could probably make the argument that this is just like a bigger, bulkier Texas rig, but I think this will be like my technique of the summer, you know, something that I'm gonna miss this fall. It's gonna be flipping, punching. There we go. There's another one. Took me long enough to feel that one. I was stuck on a piece of grass. I guess he ate it off the grass while it was coming out. Not as big as that first one, but still a good one. Can't be mad at it. Another one. Piecing together a day. See, that's the cool thing about this. It's like, you know, normally it starts to get hot. I've been out here since 5 this morning. It's about 9 o'clock now. You know, it's summertime, starting to heat up. We had a nice week last week, but it's going to be back in the, you know, it's going to feel like summer again this week. I think that's the best way to put it. And, you know, normally when it gets hot, I'm like, I had a good enough morning. I missed one on the frog, got a few on the wacky rig, blah, blah, blah. You know, I think I'm content with it. But now I can stay out here all day because this is a way that I can catch them later into the day. I'm fairly confident in it. You know, I ain't done it, but this might be my 7th, 8th time ever doing it. But now I feel like I'm finally, you know how like when you're Texas rig fishing, you just get in the groove, you're able to skip it whenever you want to. You just, every cast you make, you're like, oh, that might be a good cast. I feel like I'm finally there with this. And then, which helps y'all because y'all get longer, more fish catch videos, and helps me because I'm able to make longer fish catch videos. And then also this might help me win a tournament one day. This might, I don't know, you never know. You never know when this is gonna come into play. We're gonna hang out right here for a little second because I got bit a couple times right here and all this grass is kind of the same. Or like, all this looks the same in here, and I think there's a good bit of water underneath all this grass, so. Hey, how y'all doing? Caught a few. Got about 5 or 6. How about y'all? Okay. Okay, there you go. Are you enjoying it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.